Hello, everyone. Welcome to our live branding chat. Today we are talking about building a personal brand and for sissies, and I'm so excited because I have a very special guest today. But before we dive into that, just a few words for those of you who don't know me. My name is Kirsten with Authentic Branding, and together with my partner Dirk, we help service-based entrepreneurs to really become the face of their brand and be authentic and fearless and just tell their truth, because our world needs more leaders. And the only way to do this, to stand in your own power, position yourself, and just go out and be the face of your brand so that you can deliver an awesome service and connect with the people that need you. Today, I have a special guest, and her name is Elisabeth Pickle. She is an estate and trademark attorney. Hi, Elisabeth.
Hi, Kirsten. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me. So just before we dive in, do you want to introduce yourself and say a few words about what you do, and so that we know like who you are?
Sure. First of all, I just want to say I love the title of this show. Building a personal brand ain't for sissies. I feel like that's all that needs to be said. But so no, my name is Elisabeth Pickle, and I'm an estates and trademark attorney, and I'm located in Arizona. And I've been practicing estates for over 20 years. However, my trademark practice is a newer practice. It's been about a year now that I started during the initial days of the pandemic. So having a really good time with that area of law. And thanks again for having me here.
Awesome. Thank you, Elisabeth. So I have to confess something to you and the people watching our live broadcast and the replay. Guys, I have been stalking Elisabeth at least for 6 months on TikTok. And I thought, oh my God, this lady is so cool, and she is an attorney, and she goes so much against the norm, the industry norm of what we think someone should do and not do. And I thought, I just love her. I don't really know what you do, but I love your videos. And then of course from that I got to know actually what you do, and I thought, oh my God, I have this show on my heart for so long. I need to get her on it. And so I want to chat about that, but also maybe I have like or I think other entrepreneurs as well. Like when it comes to trademark, I don't like. Oftentimes we think, okay, like we register our business, and then that's it. And what I've learned from you is no. This is not all you do. You need to do a little bit more to protect your brand. So my question is, so as like a service-based entrepreneur, like what do you think? Like what do I actually have to do? Like and yeah, like where do I start?
Yes. So yeah, that's a great question. Where do you start? So, I think the biggest question, the most frequently asked question is around, if I have a business name and I have established my entity, my corporation, my LLC, well, I'm good. So in Arizona, I have Mindful Counsel, LLC. So that's my business name. That's my brand as well. And it's protected. No one else can grab that name. No one else can use that brand. That's not true. So just keep in mind that your business entity and how you formed your business is a wholly separate issue than trademarks. And a federally protected, if you can say federal, yeah, I could say that. It's a whole different concept. Yeah. And this is, you shouldn't know the answers, right? Why would you know that? You need to talk to a professional. So
Yeah, and there, and there, I think where the confusion starts, because who do I even ask? And I found it so confusing to even find information online. So and so, what are the risks of, let's say, like I have my corporation, I think I am protected. Like, so what are the risks if I don't do anything? Like, what could happen? Like, could somebody else like use my name? And
Right.
do I know about this? Do I get, and can somebody come and say, you, Kirsten, are not allowed to use the authentic branding anymore because you didn't protect it? Is that what could happen?
It's happens more than you can imagine. So when you do establish your business, you create this brand, you pick out your name, you go get your website, you set up your social media. And here I am trucking along with Mindful Counsel. If I haven't done my due diligence prior to setting up this business, yes, someone who has been using what we call prior use, been using that name, Mindful Counsel, can knock on my internet door and say, hey, Pickle, no, we've been using this for several years. Oh, and by the way, we have a registration, which you never even clearly looked at. So it's important. I'm not saying everybody has to run out and get a lawyer, but do some due diligence. Make sure you research on the internet to see if your name is already being used. So the sad part of my job is advising clients when they want to register their mark that it's already been done. And then they have to rebrand, right?
So I remember like when we registered, I don't even know if I can so register now, our like authentic branding. So we are here in Alberta. So I did this here. And so is that like, what else do I have to do? I know like they do the check, they do the name check and everything. They said, no, it's available. So I thought, okay, safe to use, we do that. So do I have to do more than that? Like, what are, like, I think it's for everyone else. Like, you are in your own country, and then there is international, like, what?
Yes. So let's back up a little. And the first question should be, why do you want a trademark? Why do you want, or why do you feel you need to protect this brand name? So I think that right now we're in this space where everybody thinks it's hip and cool to get a trademark. Well, there's a lot of responsibility and commitment that comes with a trademark. So the first thing you need to do is ask yourself, why do I want this mark? Why do I want exclusive rights to the name? And then it's important to talk with legal counsel to create this plan, and very intentional plan on how to move forward. So if you decide that it makes sense for you to have a registered trademark, then you would need to go through the process with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Now, with respect to different countries, what it comes down to is, are you intending on using your mark here in the United States? Okay. So, that's where we would the United States attorney would assist you. But we also work with other countries too. So we collaborate with other attorneys all over the world.
Okay. So, so what would be like I know you can't give legal advice, but like I think right now it's very common to create your own framework, your own method. Is that something that that should be registered, or probably, as you said, like, why do I want this registered? Is it even worth it? Yeah. So I think that is maybe where a lot of coaches and consultants that we work with are maybe thinking about. At least I am. So is that something that I should register in addition to my own brand name?
Great question. So trademarks falls under this umbrella of what's called intellectual property. And a trademark is a word, a phrase, or a logo, or a symbol, a design, and those can be trademarked. That's different from a copyright. Copyrights protect images, music, that type of thing. And then we have patents, which really protect inventions. And so it's a very complex area. And this is why, obviously, as a lawyer, I'm going to say you need to talk to an attorney, because the question is going to be, what type of intellectual property do you have? And how do you need to protect it? But back to your question about the consultants and the coaches, now you're talking about protecting their course content, perhaps. Is that what you mean, Kirsten?
Yes. Yeah.
So, those types of issues fall under business law, which are non-competes, non-disclosures. So those are a little different than intellectual property. But you can trademark the names of your courses, and you can copyright sometimes your courses or your books. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah. So the best is probably in an individual case to talk to someone like you and get specific information about what I want to do with it, and and really diving into that.
Absolutely. And I will say that if you schedule a consultation with an intellectual property attorney, even if you decide to DIY, to do some of these things on your own, that consultation will be almost as valuable as if you're just going to hire that lawyer. Because if you are paying for a consult with an attorney, they will, as one of my colleagues likes to say, demystify the entire process.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that was very helpful. So I want to chat about your own brand. I know you, I revealed that I have been stalking you on TikTok for at least 6 months. And you also, you went to your own rebrand recently. So I want to know, when you decided, I think last year I found out that you decided, okay, I'm just utilizing TikTok, and I know I go against the industry norm, but I do it anyways. So what was the reason behind that? Why did you do that? And is it really worth it?
Yeah. So TikTok came about merely because I think I was on Facebook, and I started seeing these really unique, short 15-second videos, and they were quite humorous. And I'm kind of I'm certainly a very smart intellectual lawyer, but I'm kind of a goofball, and I love humor. And I said to my teenage son, I said, Cam, what is this video? What is this TikTok? And he said, it's nothing you need to concern yourself with, Mom. And so I immediately concerned myself with it.
Yeah,
and so
of course.
So I looked at the app, and I just thought, this is incredible, because some of these people were so creative and talented. And it just seemed like a real happy place to be at the time when we were headed into the lockdown. So I just started hanging out there and watching other people, and I stumbled upon other attorneys, because TikTok, the algorithm will pick up on what you're interested in. And so I said to myself, this is unbelievable. There are lawyers on here. And so it started there, and I just started playing around with it, and it just got wildly popular. And I never had any intention. And that's how some of the best things happen in your business. You just try things. You try new things, and then you have to evaluate, is it working? Or is it not working? So
yeah. So when you decided to do that, did you have any concern in terms of, oh, this is harming my business? Like, what do people think about me? Or did you just go for it? And like, what were you thinking at that point?
yeah, so absolutely. So especially with the legal profession, you know, we as lawyers, we do have to uphold a standard, our morals, our values, and our ethics. People laugh when I say lawyers are have to abide by a code of ethics, but we sure do. And so, you know, that was very concerning to me. But I will say that I certainly still try to keep my videos somewhat professional. But I did notice that some of my colleagues, it really wasn't the general public, it was my colleagues that questioned it and said, well, one of the first TikToks I ever did was a response to my colleagues saying lawyers do not belong on TikTok. But again, no, every time I post, still to this day, I scrutinize the heck out of that video. Is it appropriate? You know, in my judgment, I believe it is. And from the data, what I've discovered is people love it. And I'm helping people. And so how can that be wrong? How can that be immoral or unethical when people are calling me and emailing me from all over the world, just like you? This makes it all worthwhile that we are able to connect because I took the risk and I dared to jump out there.
And yeah, I love that so much. And also, like, it is about really like being just yourself, because people don't want to work with a professional that, you know, is just this person in an Eiffel Tower. And I think especially like some industry, and I think attorneys, lawyers, accountants, they all seem to be sometimes, at least in our mind, so not approachable in a different world. So I think you make it really easy to connect with you so that people see, yeah, you know what, she is fun, like she knows her stuff, but she is just herself, and she doesn't care what the norm says, because she is there for me. And I think this is all what's count. Like we need to connect on that level more, I think.
Absolutely. And I'll admit, 5 years into practicing law, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have had the confidence, because anyone that goes to my website, anyone that knows me, or if I just say to you, I've been an estates attorney for 20 years, you know I'm competent. I've got to be. I've never had a complaint against my license, nothing. So people know as an attorney, she's licensed, she's been practicing for 20 years, she's competent. Then it's, do I like her? Do I trust her? And I'm not for everybody. You know, there are people who want the attorney in a suit behind the mahogany desk on the 5th floor, and that's fine. But, you know, I do appeal to many people, and I have a great relationship with clients who want that human attorney.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, I would like, that's why I found you and connected with you. So with this professional side, like we run Brand Intensive. It's a program for service-based entrepreneurs. And what I have heard often is, and also from myself, we tend to develop like 2 personalities. Like there's a professional side, and then there is me on a personal side. And one of our clients said, well, you know, I sometimes in the past, I felt like I have to be Superman in business, and then there's Clark when I'm at home. But actually, it's the same person. And isn't it so true that people are really interested in that person as whole? Because this is, I think, what makes it so hard for us today to go out on social media because we think we have to put this mask on and this different face of, I am professional now and I can't do this, I can't do that. I, for example, thought for a long time, in order to be taken professional and seriously, I have to be serious. I can't laugh. I can't make any jokes. And when I was running a visioning session for a client with like 20 people, at the end, they came to me and said, oh my God, this was so much fun. We did so much, we accomplished so much, but you made it so much fun. I thought, yeah, like, why can't I do this, or why don't I do this all the time on social media when I'm out there? And I think this is really what's missing.
Yes. And the reason we feel that way is we have this tape recording in our brain that's been implemented there from society's, the standards of society, and and maybe that's not even correct. For some reason, it's been ingrained in our heads that business, pleasure, okay, you know what? Fair enough. Maybe there should be a division. But in my experience, when you take just a small risk and step out there, then step away, evaluate the risk that you just took, and the response that you get, that speaks for itself. And it is always scary anytime we try anything new. And this is our livelihood. We depend on our businesses to take care of ourselves and our families. And so that was my biggest fear, is my clients are going to hit the road.
Yeah.
And so it's taken 20 years now, for me to get to this place, but it doesn't need to take that long.
So I'm curious now, like you started with TikTok, you now have like over 30,000 followers. Is TikTok actually for you now a legit marketing channel that generates leads for you?
Absolutely. And again, that was not intentional. With my estate planning practice, that is Arizona based only. So TikTok doesn't lend very well to a state specific area of business. It can, but it's better for a nationwide. And trademarks, I can do worldwide, nationwide. So when I started posting the TikToks with the trademark, I would get, you can put a link in your bio. People would message me and ask for consults. And I also want to say that my clients from TikTok are incredible, creative entrepreneurs. It's not just tire kicking. They are legitimate people looking for professional help.
That is really good that you pointed that out, because I think oftentimes TikTok still has this image of, the teenagers are doing their dances there. Yes. Why? We all know secretly we are on TikTok because it's so much fun.
Exactly. And again, the algorithm on TikTok will bring you to the places that you're interested in. If you like a TikTok says, oh, all the social media is pretty much like that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of teenagers on TikTok. There are a lot of millennials. And I guarantee you, if you jump on TikTok and just search attorneys, accountants, dentists, they're all there. They're all, and branding experts, they're all there.
Yeah. So, Elisabeth, you went through your own rebrand. I saw there was I'm also a designer, always been by heart, but also by profession. So I really noticed with branding, two different things. The one is, of course, being authentic, going out, having a message, having a clear positioning about what you're doing, knowing what you do, bringing it across. But then there's also the design part of it. And so I have one, I noticed that you had like a visual rebrand as well. So was that, did that come out of that? Like what has changed? Like, did your journey and maybe how you show up, did your message change? And did you, because of that, had a rebrand to match that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's been quite a few years since I have shifted from Elisabeth Pickle Law. Then I changed the name to Mindful Counsel because of just a lot of things I was going through in the practice of law and the way I was practicing law. I was very unhealthy and I was very depressed. And so, I kind of went through this journey, and Mindful Counsel grew out of that. But I was still very hesitant to really showcase that Mindful Counsel brand, the mindfulness, the intentionality of practicing law, the non-fear-based way of practicing law, because it goes against the grain. And so I have just taken it in little bites, little steps, one step at a time. And again, it was during the pandemic that I said, are you going to be authentic? Are you going to do this? Or are you just going to sit in a corner and pretend to be someone you're not and continue to be upset and miserable? So the website and the design and the rebrand is the icing on the cake. It's okay, guys, I'm finally out here. This is who I am. And you deserve to know the truth. This is my brand. This is what I stand for. I'd love to have you as a client if it resonates with you. So that's really how the new branding came to be.
Mm-hmm. And I like the mindful part of it, because I think while you're just talking, I thought about a lot of things, especially like estate planning. There's so much fear around it, because estate planning also means I will leave the planet. And I'm afraid of that. It also means, I have some family things that I have to deal with and I don't want to. So there are so many things that come with it. And I think the mindfulness gives it gives this bridge, the bridge of, it's not, I have to do it anyways, but there is someone that is on my side that knows what is going on and can do it in a way that is not from up here, but, from the heart, and knows what it takes and what I have to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is a very difficult process for many people. But if I had to put a stat on it, I'd say 95% of my clients say once it's done, the peace of mind, you just can't put a price tag on that. And so just my own personal story with respect to estate planning, a long time ago when I graduated from law school, my grandfather approached me and said, Elisabeth, you're now a big fancy schmancy attorney. I'd like you to do something for me. And I said, sure, Grandpa, what would you like me to do? And he said, I want you to draft my will. And I thought, boring. Most attorneys come out of law school and they want to be litigators, and drafting wills just isn't very, very sexy or interesting. But my grandfather said, do it, and I did it. And so I drafted the will, and he asked me to make sure that my brother got the family farm. He only had real estate. Many people are land rich and cash poor, and that was the situation. And I did so, and so everything was fine. And then years go by, and he passes away. And so we take the will, we probate the will, and the farm goes to my brother. And my brother moves on to the farm, and everything is great. And then he gets married, and he has children, and life goes on. But unfortunately, what happened is my brother ended up getting a divorce. And in the divorce, the farm was rendered now a marital property. And so he lost the farm. And so now we have complete strangers living on our family farm.
Wow.
Had I used a trust, for instance, had I used different tools, had I understood the power of estate planning, I would have done things differently. And so that is why I started off on the estate planning and the trademark venture, because that's not going to happen again on my own. Yeah. So asset protection and protecting your brand, protecting your estate, it's essential. Why do you work so hard for these things if you're not going to protect it and create a legacy, for your friends, for your family, for your charitable interests?
Totally. Yeah, totally. And I think I read this, that story that you just shared on, I don't know, one of your social media channels. And I thought, wow, like, and it made it so clear for me why you are the mindful counselor, because this is someone that I would like to have on my side, not someone that I'm afraid to approach because I feel, well, I don't know anything about it, but someone that has been there, and understands and comes to me from a perspective of, I'm here for you and I can help.
Yeah, and I want to put this back on you a little bit, Kirsten. Don't you think that any professional, a lawyer, a branding expert, aren't we better when we've maybe learned some things from the school of hard knocks? Maybe we've made mistakes and taken risks that didn't work out. I've learned the hard way, and now I think it just makes me a better professional and a better person.
Yeah, absolutely. That reminds me of one conversation I had with a client a few months back, and so we were working on a brand and marketing plan for their organization, and she said, oh, so we did a testimonial, and I interviewed her, and I said, like, what objections did you have before you decided to work with us? And she said, well, I thought it would be intimidating. And I thought, what? How could I be intimidating? I am like the friendliest person on earth. And she said, like, it wasn't you, but it was the thought that I have to, that I maybe not professional in the way what I have done before, and you would see it. Mm-hmm. And that opened my eyes. And then she said, well, what I really learned was you were my partner, and I was so glad to have you, because all the heavy weight that we had to lift doing and I think it was eventually it became a rebrand for them as well. She said, we have tried for a year to find a new name for our organization, and all the heavy burden was on me. We had, like, she showed me like lists of 100 different names that they didn't go for, and I thought, oh my God. And but through this process, I helped her with this, and suddenly she realized, like, Kirsten is my partner. She is there to help me. She is on my side. She is not there and says, well, you should do this. Yeah.
That absolutely. We are partners with our clients. It's people, as you say, have come to me and said, I'm just embarrassed, Liz. I don't have anything. And I take a look at their assets and their businesses, and I say, you sure do. You sure do. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But everyone thinks that, you have to be a rock star or a politician in order to protect things. And that's just not true. But yes, I'm going to use this as a TikTok now. This example of a partner. That's it.
Yeah, and I think coming back to our topic of building a personal brand and for sissies, it also comes back to being authentic. Because if you're authentic and bringing in the personal side of you and not just the professional side, this is really what builds the trust and the connection. And I think connection is what we really need in order to work with each other.
Yes, you do. You do.
Yeah.
It's the like, know, and trust factor. Again, I firmly believe that people will trust that you are competent and you have the credentials. It's going to come down to, are you comfortable with this person? Do they resonate with you? Do you like them? Do you trust them?
Mm-hmm.
And so my recommendation is, of course, keep it PG there. And I will say that there are a lot of lawyers on TikTok that make me go, but I am not going to be judgmental. I do believe you have to maintain some obviously professionalism, but gosh, be yourself. That's, you can't be someone else. They're already taken. What's the saying? Be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes.
Right.
One things that I've also wrote down, like you said, being authentic is about being real, and ironically is not about trying. It's about living a life that is true to the values at the very center of your core, regardless of what others may think or expect of you. So like this about being real, like, can you talk about this a little bit? Because I think many of us are like sometimes getting stuck in their head because we want to make things perfect, especially like when we want to brand ourselves and we know like people are looking at us. What is about this not trying, just doing thing?
Yeah, so I think that all of us, when we first venture out into a business, or we're out here on the internet streets, we're always comparing ourselves to others. I sure have done it for a very long time, and I still do. I catch myself doing it. Here's the truth. For a very long time, I pretended to be somebody I was not. And I finally came to the place where I said to myself, I can be like this person over here, but I don't know what this person has this person's story. I don't know why they behave the way they do. I don't know why they built this business. And what if I fail and I'm being someone else? It's better off to just be who I am, not try so hard. Just be me. And if I fail at that, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I'll accept that. People have to accept me for who I am. And I have faith in, whatever God, the universe, spirit, that the correct, true people will be drawn towards me. And that's what's happened. It takes faith. And you can do it, and you will be afraid, but you have to do it anyway.
You know what, Elisabeth, these are beautiful words to end our live video branding podcast here. I love that. Be true to yourself, and the right people will find you. I want to share your information here because I got a comment. Where can I see those TikToks? For everyone like watching our live series right now, or even the replay, please follow Elisabeth at TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook, your choice. And of course, also follow me, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and we will be back next week with another session. And also, I mentioned we are running Brand Intensive. So this is a program for service-based entrepreneurs, and we help them to become unstoppable and really to being the face of their brand by activating themselves in their brand, and so that you are aligned and can really go out and be and serve the person that I intend to work with you. So you can connect with us at authentic.ca. And Elisabeth, thank you. This was so exciting. I'm so grateful that you joined me today. And so thank you very much.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you, Kirsten. I really had a good time with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Elisabeth. And we see you all again next week with another session, and I will announce what that is later on. Bye.